Yeah, yeah. And we are live now, everybody.
Oh,
And welcome, welcome. And I see people are rowdy in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. Welcome, everybody in the chat, and welcome, members, and welcome, Mod. And thank you for the links, Sam, before we even started. So Mark's stuff's all in the chat there, and I'm sure we'll see it throughout. So, Mark Shelly is our guest, and he's been on a couple of times, I believe, before. I'm pretty sure twice. But
Yep.
anyway, it's been a while, and I clicked on one of his videos, I don't know, a week or two ago, and I was like, oh my God, he's got a sale going on. I'm not like deliberately promoting, but those of you that like shrimp, he's got an awesome sale going on. And what did I get? 40 shrimp. So, and some plants. I might as well throw some plants in. But anyway, he's got an awesome sale going on.
Where can you find the sale at?
Uh, if you go on his,
My website, markshellyaquatics.com.
there you go. I just followed his links from his YouTube channel. It's the same name. But I just got 40 shrimp for $20, I think. Is that right?
No, it's 20 shrimp for $40.
Okay, yeah. I get numbers mixed up. It's a little still an awesome deal.
that's the Skittles.
Yeah, that's the Skittles, which I love them also. But anyway, I got a couple plants that were really cheap too. But anyway, now that I've shameless plug, but yeah, I was anyway. My point was, I watched the video, and then I started after I saw the video. I'm like, dang, he's got a lot more stuff than he used to have.
Yeah, I do it. I'm full time now.
Yeah, oh, are you?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. Well,
Nice.
I'm going to shut up finally and let you talk to us and hopefully show us some stuff. And should I go ahead and bring you up bigger, or?
Oh, this is fine. This is
Okay.
fine.
Well, if you are able to show us any tanks or anything, I'll do it then.
Yeah, I can do that. You want me to do that now?
It's up to you. However you want to do it. It's your show. Tell us a little bit of tell them a little bit about you, because I know you.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can figure out how to do this camera here. Well, my name is Mark. I live in Indiana. Oh, wrong one. I'm just north of Indianapolis, and I started out as a hobbyist. Started watching all these people with all these tanks like Lucas Brett's and Aquarium Co-op, and I was like, I can do that because I've had tanks my entire life. And so then I got into shrimp, and over the years it just kept growing on itself, and now it's how I make my living.
That's so awesome.
And I was just telling Skipper and Pam, there I go again, but the shrimp got held up because of the weather for 3 days, 3 extra days in Indianapolis. Every shrimp was alive. The plants were fine.
Well, how do you switch this camera, Bob?
Flip the camera around.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do so I can show you.
Are you on a phone or a camera?
I'm on a phone.
It
I hit that.
It should have a
Okay.
circle in the corner on the screen you're on, like down in one of the corners. It should have like a circle thing.
Okay, I see it.
That should do it.
Camera.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
There we go.
Let me go ahead and blow you up. Come on, Bob. I don't have any fingerprints anymore.
Oh, we lost them.
No,
We
don't
blew up
be.
Skipper. Hey, Skipper, let's see your tanks.
It's my thumbs. Okay, exit solo. Maybe he'll come back. I wouldn't probably.
I was just looking at his website and I'm about to hit order.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to it right now. I'm like, wait, what? What?
And the sale goes off at the end of the stream. No.
I know, right? You should have done a special sale just for that.
Here he is back, I hope.
Jeff said Mark is why he got shrimp.
Really? Okay, add to stage. Hang on, Mark. Let me make the solo.
There we go.
Did it go up that?
You gotta be careful when Bob starts hitting buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, I accidentally bumped the back button on my browser. That's how I ended up accidentally leaving.
Oh.
Pam. Okay.
Is that?
She's
I have,
right.
I have a quick question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Mark, with your red cherry shrimp, the high grade Sakura, is that like
Yeah.
So what's makes that a difference between that and regular cherry shrimp?
Well, I sell them as Sakura reds because the males really ain't fire red, and it's pretty hard to find fire red males. So
Oh, okay.
instead of most people will just call them fire red anyway, but I don't think I think it's kind of misleading when the males really, most of them really ain't fire red. So like Sakura, which is just a notch below fire red. That's why I sell them as that.
There's several of them already on your site ordering. So
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's why I asked, because I'm about to hit
Yeah.
check.
Let's see. Here's some reds in here. You see the females are. I mean, lots of them are really, really good. But the males just ain't quite there.
wow,
But the females are real good.
what's
Then we
this?
got.
That's right. There's gravel.
It is blasting sand in this tank.
Oh.
Just a real thin layer. And then we have some blue dreams. These are really good ones.
Yeah, I saw those.
Oh, those are really blue.
Aren't they?
Very nice.
And then this is a project tank with tons of little babies everywhere. Like I'm trying to make my own red really line.
Oh, nice.
And so that's where that's at. You can see some of the bigger ones in there. And let's see. Oh, got to show off the orange tank. I got tons of oranges.
Oh, I think orange is my favorite.
They're mine too, but I haven't had luck with them. I've got them twice before, not from him, but just hadn't had luck with them.
Well, I tell you what, if those Skittles you got do good, then you're pretty much guaranteed because these are all from the same water.
Yeah, I saw some in there. Yeah.
Yep. And we got blue jellies.
I like those. They're a little bit more, just a little bit, but
Yeah, I have trouble keeping these in stock, so I don't really put these on sale.
yeah.
And let's see, what's some other? We got some Bloody Marys.
Beautiful. What
Nice.
kind of moss is that? Is it?
Well, I've always had it as Pylomoss. That's what I got it as.
Mhm.
But there's a couple different kinds of mosses that are going as Pylomoss. I think I had a customer tell me that they're hardcore in the moss, and it was a rare moss that they thought it was, but I don't know. I still think it's Pylomoss, but that's what I've got it as. It's what I've had it as years as. Yeah, that's a new tank. We got some black ones. These guys are new. There's yellow ones in here that they're all in the back.
I like yellow too.
And these guys are called Little Red Riding Hood because they're just a white or clear shrimp with a red head.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these are pretty unique and pretty cool.
Are you selling those?
No, not the new one. This is a new rack right here.
Oh, okay.
Those are new tanks with new lines. And then down here, I have my own guppy line that I created.
That's so cool.
That's what these guys are. A bunch of females.
What are they called?
Rainbow lightning guppies.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then there's actually a few shrimp in here. What this is I put my guppies outside during the summer. So then I had to have somewhere to bring them all in at. So I started this tank in the fall to bring all these guys in. And then right there, let's see, that's a short fin green dragon pleco.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then, because that's actually the culls. That's where I put the short fin ones. The long fin ones are over here with the Bloody Mary shrimp. There's a short fin one I still got to get out, but all these little ones are long fin green dragon babies. See all them little tiny.
Are you going to be selling those?
I will probably come spring.
Yeah.
And then I've been trying to put the long fin green dragon plecos. These tanks will also breed those because there is a long fin green dragon over there. Okay, I feel like I've been talking forever.
Well, you can take a break if you want. It's your show if you want to take a break, and well, you'd be talking, I guess. Guys, talk some. Let him have a break.
I'd be talking,
see.
but I'm ordering right now some orange neocaridina from this guy called Mark Shelly. So
There he is.
See, did that work? Now I got to remember, don't hit back on the browser, hit back on the app.
Oh, I used to do that all the time. Yeah, I know.
That's what I did last time. There we go.
Yeah, I did.
So all right, I'll ask you some questions from your website since I have it up.
nice.
Yep.
So can you explain the mermaid weed? What is that?
I have some super.
I know
It's
I
a
just
stem
ordered-
plant. It's a stem plant.
Okay.
And it needs, it's not high light, but it needs decent light. It needs pretty good light. It needs at least medium light or it'll struggle if it's really low light.
I'm looking at mine, and I've got it kind of under some. That's medium light. So I'm
So
gonna.
it definitely needs to be in a tank that has like a timer for the light. So like if it's in a tank that you don't turn your light on a lot, it's not going to do good in it.
Yeah, exactly. Most plants are like that though.
I'm going to divide
Well-
mine and move some over.
I've experienced that. I noticed with the Nubis, they're okay with it and stuff like that. But I noticed a lot with a lot of the stem plants. Like if you have a good cycle going on with your light, they really like that better. And then of course add your ferts too. But the light makes a difference, especially with the photosynthesis. But yeah, I was just curious about that because I think
No, I don't fertilize with it. You don't need to fertilize with it.
okay. That's
No,
cool.
I don't. It depends on your water though too. I mean, if you have really soft water, you probably will.
Well, that's another thing I noticed with my tanks because I do have soft water. My where I saw a squirrel in a fish tank. That's the problem.
Oh, what?
A squirrel in my fish tank. When I go like that, it's awesome. But so I know like what I found out with myself is I have like this tank behind me. I got a aragonite in it. A couple my other plants my other tanks, I have aragonite in it, and my plants seem to do better with that because I do have really soft water because our water
Oh yeah.
facility
Yep.
seems to be like a huge RODI unit, so to speak.
Well, you live in the mountains, right? In Tennessee, pretty much.
Well, I live in Pennsylvania, but I am in the mountains. And that's where we get our water. So
Yeah.
all
Most
the
people.
soft gets here.
Yeah, most people who live in hills and mountains, it's really
Yeah.
soft water. There's
Skipper's
not a whole
got
lot.
that mountain man vibe, though.
A little bit. Can't
I
help
just assumed you was in Tennessee in the Smokies.
Yeah, right. I could have said that. Right? Yeah, that's definitely one thing I'm starting to really hone in on this year is not just the fish, but also the plants that I get because I found another good person that sells plants, and they're actually from Pennsylvania, but they're down in the valley. So I noticed a difference. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So,
all the minerals are washed down to them while you're up, and it's just running right off.
Who in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania sells plants?
Well, actually, they go to a lot of our swaps. It's Cochin Aquaculture. But yes, that was one of the things I was wondering about that plant because it's pretty cool. Like I'm because I ordered one. That's why I was asking.
Oh.
Literally just did while you was doing your thing because I wanted to check your site out.
I might
But,
have to add more stock if everyone's buying up mermaid weed.
there was only 3 left on the website,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just curious about that because that was a different plant to me. I never seen it before.
It is kind of rare, and it's really cool because most stem plants underwater, there's not much to them, like if you pull them out of water, they can't stand. Well, mermaid weed won't stand up, but it's actually like a solid plant. There's structure to it.
Yeah,
It's a
like
thicker, hardier, stronger plant than just like Ludwigia or something or Rutala.
wow.
Hey, Dusty. Larry D said to tell you his somethings. I forgot what we're doing great. The thriving he got from you.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I think he said it was because of the. Do you sell food on your site?
Yeah,
I
he
do.
said mention your food too, but yeah.
You
It's
make
the
it.
exact it's the exact same stuff I feed all my fish, or all my fish and shrimp. All my tanks, they get the same thing every day. But I don't make it from scratch myself, but I buy great big, like super high quality flakes in bulk, and then I blend it all together. And so the more I make, the more I can buy. So when I sell, I get it for cheaper, because the more I make way more than I could ever make. So then I sell like one, or I think, yeah, 1 and 2 ounce bags of it.
Let's see here. I can tell you. You have.
Jeff Pelham got his shrimp.
I went to Jeff's house just a couple weeks ago. I have a video about it. I did a tour of his stuff.
So can shrimp breed in a tank that has fish in it, and what kind of fish would be best?
Well, no fish is best.
Oh, okay. I got these little tiny reservoirs.
Those are like with guppies and stuff that size, they'll eat the babies. But if you have like a lot of moss or plants or rock piles and stuff where the babies can hide, you'll get enough to live. It might be hard to start off at first. Like if you want to I would suggest if you want to keep fish and shrimp in the same tank, let the shrimp get started and take hold, and then add your little fish.
Okay.
But don't get too big. Don't get nothing bigger than like a guppy, because
Now reservoirs are probably half the size of the guppy.
reservoirs would probably mostly be good.
Okay.
How many tanks are you up to now, or how many gallons?
Oh, I'm almost up to 40 tanks, I think, but they're all 20 to 100 gallons. So I don't have, because some people be like, I got 300 tanks, but they're all like 10-gallon tanks,
But you have some 100-gallon tanks?
Right now I have 100-gallon stock tanks.
Nice. For shrimp?
Yep, I'll show you one of those.
Yeah.
I'll wheel you over here. See if I can change cameras without messing it up.
That is awesome. I have a stock tank in my fish room, but it's got my turtles in it, so I don't think the shrimp would survive.
Yeah, I have in here now. This is Bloody Mary shrimp and tons and tons of plecos facing front.
And the plecos don't bother the shrimp?
No, the bristlenose plecos won't.
Ah.
I won't change. Am I changing or am I still the same?
You're still
We
the
still see your face.
You tapping there you go. No?
No, let's see. There
There
you
we
go.
go. Oh, beautiful. Look at this.
I know. Wow.
And Bloody Mary shrimp.
Look at, they're all the way up on the side.
Yeah.
Are they going to escape?
No, they stay in the water.
Wow. And what's the substrate you have in there?
This is black blasting sand as well.
Oh, okay. And what was the pipe, the PVC system you have set up?
This is my DIY filter. So there's a pump down there,
Huh?
and it's sucking water through the sponges down to the pipe, or down to the pump, then up and out to the spray bar.
And shrimp like that kind of current?
Well, They do good for me. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to have something like that, but for a big stock tank, it's a real little pump. It's only like 300, 400 gallons an hour, so it's not a lot of current. But
Well,
How many? You said that's a 100-gallon tank. Sorry, Skipper.
yep, 100-gallon stock tub
I
right
have
there.
one of those, and it took a lot of filtration to get water moving for bait fish.
Oh yeah. Those need a lot of
Yeah.
oxygen.
Yeah, and with what you
Yeah.
got is just more like a surface agitation.
Yep.
Oh, that's perfect. Though.
And I also added this for added surface agitation, but it's clogged up right now. Today is supposed to be water change day, but
Is
wasn't
that a
feeling
Ziff
good.
filter? What kind of filter is that?
It's just a power head with a sponge on
Oh,
it
okay. Okay.
to get more surface agitation.
So do you see the moss you have growing on top of your sponge filter? Is that a sponge filter? I actually split open my sponge filters and wedge in moss pieces like every half inch to try to get a living sponge filter. I think they're the best ever.
Well, you want to see a living sponge filter? There's some algae here, but check out this.
Oh, I love it. That's what I like. Yes.
And then this one
I
right
like
here.
things growing out of my sponge filters.
This tank has a little bit of hair algae, and this one is red shrimp too.
Do the shrimp eat hair algae?
Not really. Not really. And then let's see, we got this tank's kind of nasty, but this is more blue jellies. Got algae in here, snowballs, more blue dreams.
Wow.
And then this is one of my special projects where I'm trying to make Bloody Mary Reallys.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And what makes a really? I think I remember from years ago, but I'm not quite sure.
That is the clear middle part. Let's see if I can show my. The middle is clear, but there's color on the head and the tail.
And there's still neocaridina.
Yep.
Okay.
All these are. I do have some that are not neos. I have some caridina, but they're in the front of the house. I don't think my Wi-Fi will reach that far. I'll probably lose you if I don't go in there.
And do you have any like microfauna in here? Like, they only eat flake food, or do they eat live things living on the bottom?
Just I feed them flake food. Now there are other things that show up that I didn't add. Like there's little seed shrimp looking guys in here.
Oh yeah.
Of course snails. But yeah, I don't add anything on purpose. They just eat the food. Well, basically the way I look at it is you feed the tank and then the shrimp will live off of it, whatever you feed the tank. So the food, I don't fertilize. So the food is my fertilizer. The food is what keeps everything going, plants and the shrimp and the plecos, stuff like that.
Keeps the tank cycled.
Yeah.
Is that plant that was in that last tank the plant that's growing out of that sponge filter you started showing?
That is the moss.
Yes.
That's the moss? Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's the moss.
That's pretty cool. I love that 100-gallon tank, man.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, I'm going to have a pond in the backyard next spring. It's going to get dug out, ready to go. I already have everything I need to do it. I just need to get my butt up and doing it.
So how dangerous would it be to have mosquito larvae in a shrimp tub?
I don't think you'd want it unless you want mosquitoes in your house.
Yeah, no, not in the house. I mean, like if I had a tub outside and it got I didn't know if they would eat all the shrimp or.
Shrimp outside really need like a bug cover, like a bug net, because you get I don't think the mosquitoes would cause a problem. They wouldn't, but like you got other things like dragonflies and
nymphs,
predatory beetle larvae and stuff like that. Because I set 2 of those 100-gallon tubs outside this year, and none of them made it.
Oh.
But then the big in-ground one, well, it's not that big. It's like 400 gallons. It's in-ground.
That's big.
That's big.
And, well, most people say that's not a pond, that's a puddle. You know, I tell them like,
There's something wrong with them. They must be from the Amazon or something.
Yeah, but it's in ground, and I had guppies out there, and I did have shrimp make it out there. But in the other little ones, that I didn't have any shrimp make it because it's full of these little beetle-looking things that
Oh,
I didn't think the shrimp probably didn't do good at those.
So you could probably do like to help with the bugs. You could do like some shrimp, and then maybe like a rice fish of some sort, or even guppy, since you already had that good experience. But I mean,
Yeah,
like if you were
'cause I think
trying,
the guppies are probably beneficial because the guppies ate all the bad bugs before they got big enough to mess with the shrimp.
right?
That's what I'm thinking. But then the ones with just shrimp only, they didn't do good.
now what is your water at there? Like I just got shrimp. My tap water is 6.8. What is your water and what are your shrimp living in right now?
My water is really hard. My water is around 8, but Neos can live in it. I accidentally ended up with a Neo in my soft water tank where the pH is under 6. It's like 5 point. Actually, right now it's like 5.3.
Wow.
And then Neo accidentally got in there. He wasn't even phased.
Really?
Yeah, Neos don't care. They can adapt to anything. As long as it's a cycle. I mean, ammonia kills them, but as far as water parameters, hardness and softness of the water, they can adjust to anything.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause one of the things I kind of want to get into next year is whenever I get into setting my I'm moving everything from here behind me, but I was going to do a rack with dedicated shrimp. So I always wondered about water parameters because, like, I already have soft water. Now, when you get into Caradinas, I wouldn't really have to add nothing, but the Neos I already do. I add KH and GH because I have a tank that has them in it. I got some blue dreams, and in that tank, I add the KH and GH because I have to, because mine's really, really low.
Yeah. The most important part of that, though, is making sure you do it the exact same every time.
I do.
Yeah. Because that's what they can adjust to anything, but they need it to be kept constant. Consistency is the key.
So whenever I do the water changes, I make sure I take the same amount of water out because whenever I add that, like I make sure I do 2 gallons because one scoop is 2 gallons, and so that I don't like under or overdose. That was one of the things that I started doing just after reading. I'm like, well, I should probably do what it says because it's not a real big tank.
Now, do you have a TDS pen to measure your total dissolved solids? Those are cheap, and that'll give you an idea. It won't tell you what it is, but if you when you make new water, to make sure the water you're putting in matches the water that's already in there.
Wow.
But so if your TDS is like 160, you want to make sure your water that you're putting in is 160.
So what is your TDS at, Mark?
Mine's around like 330.
So mine comes out at like 330. It's a 6.8 pH, but my TDS is around 330, 360.
So you probably don't have very much KH then,
Right.
I imagine. Yeah.
Hmm.
I have lots of KH and lots of GH in my water.
But I don't usually chase pH. If the fish or critters can't adapt to my water,
Then find different critters. Yeah. That's the way I always used to be. And that's the way almost all my tanks are now, except for one. Like they're either going to adjust or they're not. When I get new plants, it's always, do these plants work in my water?
exactly.
Yeah, there's some soft water plants that I kill them right away. There's nothing I can do because my water's hard.
Okay.
You know?
Jeff says he's about to build a dedicated Neo tank rack like we talked about. You talked about. Now, is that going to be a breeding rack he's doing, or?
I think so, because he has a whole bunch of tanks, but he's stuck.
What do you got? Well water?
19.
You got well water or you got RODI water?
That is what comes from my water plant.
Oh my
That's what I'm
God.
telling you.
Wow.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
Yeah, you got to add something for Neos. You have to add something for Caradina even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, that's. I told, that's the first time I ever showed that on video. I was talking about her, like, yeah, you're full. You know, I'm like, no, I'm telling you. Like, I literally just did that right next to me. I've got one of them tub sinks, you know.
Yeah.
When you said
Crazy.
TDS, like, yeah, I do. I forgot where it was, and I looked up, and there it was. But yeah, it's 19 coming out.
Yeah, like even like 150 is considered pretty soft. So you're like, well, if you want to go to Caradina, he's got the biggest pain in the butt step skipped because the RODI part is the biggest pain in the butt there is.
It's funny because there's a guy in chat, very good friend of mine, that sent me one, and I was doing so. I was on the phone with a couple of people. Oh, it was Maria Z. I was on the phone with. We were talking about water stuff, and I told him that they thought I was crazy. I said, "No, I'm telling you, that's what it is, and that's
Yeah,
actually pretty low. Normally, it's in the 30s,
wow.
but it's
Do
winter.
do you have problems keeping guppies in your tap water? Or do you add the or the aragonite?
Well, this one has aragonite, and I got guppies. Or I got a couple. Well, the male died, but the females are still doing good. Now I had some guppies from Maria Z that I put them in there, but if I go to that tank, it's not going to be that low. It for some reason when you put the water in the tanks, I only do gravel. It jumps way up. It's so freaking weird.
So is that the actual TDS in your tank, the 19, or is that just?
That's what came out of tap. I'll give you. I'll check this one because this one has aragonite in it.
And now it'll be higher because the aragonite is buffering
Or
your
I'll
water.
check one that doesn't have it. And I literally just did a water change before this stream.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so jealous. Mine is like in the 300s, right out of the tap.
Yeah.
Mine is too.
Mine's in anywhere between like 280 and 330,
Yep.
340.
Hey, Doc Anthony.
Yeah, wow. What
Yeah.
And I did a water change on that tank. I did 25%
Yeah.
water change, and it still sits at 4 something. So,
What kind of substrate do you have? You might have something dissolving.
well, I tell you what helps is I don't gravel vac
Yeah, I don't gravel vac either anymore.
because, but it's just regular gravel that you get from the fish store. It's nothing special in there. I got some plants. I got a sponge filter, a heater.
Because the softer your water is, the easier it is for stuff to dissolve in it.
That's probably why.
Because if you don't have any solids in your water, solids want to be in your water, type of thing. So the easier it is to dissolve the solids, like in gravel or whatever it is. But that seems pretty high even for that. So I don't know. That's crazy.
It's weird. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Oh yeah. Now, like if you already have really hard water and you put like that stuff in, like crushed coral or whatever, it won't even change in mine because my pH is already like 8.
Oh, wow.
And I have a TDS that's really high already. So.
Pam, I don't think you're keeping shrimp anymore. I could be wrong, but what were your water parameters? 'Cause you used to have some pretty shrimp.
I never had a temperature like that, but I know my water's really hard,
Okay.
and my pH was about 6 point, or it's not 6. My pH was about 7.8.
Wow.
That's about where I'm at. Yeah. Almost
Those
8.
numbers I just showed you was the aragonite tank.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that can also like, have you put any meds or have you done any like cichlid salt or stuff like that? Anything you put in a tank is going to change your TDS.
I'm glad you just said that because I did add fertilizer to that tank over there.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do it.
It just hit me. I was like, oh, wait a minute. As soon as you said that, I was like, I did add
Yeah.
some.
What are you fertilizing, Skipper?
I actually use some California homebred stuff. It's Hector's Everything.
Oh, wow.
From oh man, him and Luke Wang, they sell this stuff, but Hector makes it himself at home. It is his house, and for me, it's great because it adds stuff in because I don't have.
Yeah, you don't have any stuff in your water, so you need to add stuff.
Yeah, that's.
But then you need to take that TDS pin and check it every once in a while, because if it starts getting over like 400, then you know that's getting pretty high, and you start having problems going the other way.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't do it like every water change, which is weird. It's just me. It's just the way my mind works. But I mean, it's good stuff. Knowing me, I'll run out of it and then I'll forget to order it. So I don't want to keep.
Yeah.
Make
I was fertilizing the tank once, and I hadn't checked the TDS for a while. And I do weekly water changes, but apparently I wasn't doing them big enough. I stuck my TDS meter in there one time, and it was over 500. I was like, oh boy.
What haven't you? Sorry, I was reading. What is there? Are there any shrimp you haven't shown us, or do you have plant tanks?
I can show you some more stuff. I can try going. Well, I have more tanks I haven't showed, but let me see if I can go into the front of the house. I might lose you.
Just come back.
Let's
I know
see.
they make pH pens, so I'm thinking about doing that because I kind of want to get an accurate as opposed to your master test kits.
Dang, that's a big house.
Yeah, it's not that big. Let's see. I got to remember how to do this again. Settings, camera. There we go.
Oh,
All right.
These are my
Yeah, he just went out.
Yeah, it's all good till he been over there close.
well, those are good topper leaves, right?
They are. Yeah. Are there shrimp on them or? Okay.
Now, wouldn't that
Yeah,
make your
they're
water
katapa
more
leaves.
acidic?
Yep.
Okay.
When you got over there close,
I'm
it
sorry.
freezes. You freeze up when
Oh
you get
yeah. Yeah.
back there. You're good.
What is that big brown thing in the
Right.
corner? Is that your internal like filter?
Yeah, that's my filter. That is full of substrate. That is actually what keeps the pH low in there.
Wow, look at that. That's
And
like
here,
a water tank. That's ingenious. I like it.
and then
Is he froze
I
again?
think I'm probably.
Now
Yeah,
you're
you're freezing up, bud.
So you have another tub inside your house?
Yeah, we're in my bedroom now.
Wow.
It's his bedroom. And I think what he's trying to tell you that was his snowballs.
maybe. That's that same filtration he had in the other. Looks like.
He's back. That looks like one of them Nikron lights.
Yeah. I think you're right, Skipper.
It's nice. It's almost like you might be able to grow green water if you tried harder.
Yeah. I've got a
Some
tank
lights,
of
from
green.
what I understand, it don't take much. They're pretty powerful. What you need in them tubs, I noticed whenever I had mine up and running, was it was hard to get good light down to the bottom. So they almost like I use the shop light, not like what Mark has. So I had to have mine lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the water almost.
Getting light on those is really tough. That's the hardest part about them, for sure.
Somebody said something about pH.
Jeff Kellum's Aquatics says his pH will drop if he don't add crushed coral of some type. And he loves it to be at 7.5 or no, 7.5 out of the tap.
8.2. Wow.
I know mine has to be low or high. I don't know. I never really tested out of the tap because I want to get. There's a pH pen that you can buy also.
Yeah.
It's a nice,
Those don't. You don't want to waste your time with those. Those
Really?
unless you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like the ones you get for like 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks. Those suck. I know.
so like the API Freshwater Master Test Kit. Is that the best way to do it, or is there another way?
Those, as far as I can tell, the test kits are the best way for pH because pH is pretty. I have one, but unless I recalibrate it after every single use, and you have to buy a stock solution to calibrate it.
Bless you.
I have a 7.0 stock solution, a calibration fluid, and you have to calibrate it with that before every single use. Because if you just stick it in there, it'll say ridiculous things. Like it'll say my pH is 10.
Oh my.
If I don't calibrate it.
Right.
I mean, it's wild. It's yeah.
Whips is tardy. Sneaking into the back row, but there he is.
Tardy. Whip is tardy. What?
Tardy.
He had to go take a nap.
Yes. Then he couldn't sleep. Down the road, I get sand mixed with. Oh, that's interesting, Dusty. Huh. Well, mine came out for 7.2 out of the faucet for years and years. And then all of a sudden it started being like 6, 5.7. And so
Really?
I have to test it every time. Yeah. And it caused me to lose some fish because I didn't check it for probably 15 years. I did for 5 years and it's never worked at all. But
did you add a water softener or something to your house, or maybe the township did?
No, it's just the town water. That's the way my water is now. So I have to, especially in my 180, because I've got a couple stumps and a lot of wood in there. And so that pulls it even further down. So I actually do have to treat it. So, but
wow.
I noticed, like, with me having a water treatment also is it depends. Okay, if it's a good rain, the reservoir's good. It never goes down to where it gets into the muck before they switch over to the river to let it build back up. It stays constant, which we've been very fortunate this year. When they switch over to the river, it's totally different. Even though it's run through still the same filtration system, there's still a difference because I don't think it can keep up quick like it can with the reservoir.
right.
Yeah, one of the saddest things that I had happen was one spring we had a lot of snow melt, and like I say, my tap water comes out at 7.8, but I did a water change on a 40-gallon breeder that I had that was full of huge crypts. I mean, absolutely beautiful, huge crypts. And within an hour of after the water change, they all started melting.
Wow.
I checked the water, and the tap water was coming out at like 6.2 or something like that. And
Wow.
I didn't know it. I think it was because of the snow melt.
Probably.
Yeah, it absolutely
I
destroyed.
didn't realize that would melt crypts like that.
Oh, they just within an hour of doing the water change, they were just like mush.
Wow.
You think about it, with that snow melt, it's really making your water softer.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Is that the water came out of the tap instead of 7.8, it was coming out at like 6.2, and it just like the water change just killed my crypts.
Whips,
Oh,
to
yeah.
answer your question, it's Mark Shelly is his name, and he is
Yep.
not a Shelly keeper. He does have some fish, but not Shelly's. I don't.
I actually want to get him someday. Oh, I've joked about that before. Shelley's.
Oh yeah, pretty cool.
Well, I know, like there was some pretty cool Shellys I got to see this year doing that auction, and it really made me want to get into them.
Oh yeah, they're fun little guys for sure.
Yeah, they are. I've got lots of shells if somebody gets into them, but the shells are not that expensive. But I didn't throw mine away.
You can get them off Amazon pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's where I got them. Those escargot shells.
Yep.
I may have given some to Robert. I may have gotten rid of them. I don't know.
I think you did actually. Yeah, I believe you did. Yes, you did actually.
Wow.
Those are pretty guppies. What are those?
Those are my rainbow lightning guppies, my own line.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
They're deltas. The tails are not real big. They're nice. They're good size and shape.
They actually are like 25% inler.
Yeah, that's why I bet.
And they're
Yeah.
on sale now on the website.
I love
They are.
Skipper, you're not helping my.
them.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to help them sell that stuff. Some returning customers.
I know. I set a limit when I went on there, but that was for that time, right? I can go back.
It's still on sale.
Are they eating a clam?
I just put an algae wafer in there. That's why I stepped away, so I could get this. This is one of my favorite things to do here lately. Is there's a little pleco trying to get in on it.
Clown pleco? What kind is that?
That's a short fin green dragon.
Okay.
It's a bristle nose variant.
Pleco said, I'm coming in. Y'all can crowd all you want. I'm in here.
There'll be hordes of them. I just put it in, give it about 20 minutes, and there's probably 300, 400 guppies in here, I'd guess.
Oh, God. What's the sale, Skipper?
I think they're $12 a pair.
Yeah,
Right?
$12.
Oh,
a
it's
pair.
all right.
That's pretty cheap for somebody that made them themselves.
So a trio would be 18, or do you do trios?
I just do pairs.
So you have to get 2 pairs if you want 2 girls. But still, that's a
Yeah,
good.
especially with part Endler like that, you can definitely want 2 girls. These
Right.
Endlers are relentless. These male Endlers, like they're just dogs, I tell you.
There
They're big. These guys are big and showy like guppies are, but they act like endlers. They're spazzes like
Yeah.
endlers
I
are.
love Endlers. They're probably
Look at-
my
look at
favorite
him,
myself.
Paul. Look at him
Yeah, oh,
pulling it.
Look at that.
They got a bunch of screws loose.
He's pushing back on them now.
He's getting pushed out. Oh, he's getting in.
Yeah.
He's getting in.
I
I
could
love
watch
it.
these for hours.
Baby plecos are so much fun to watch how they jump at each other, and they're like puppies playing. They're so much fun.
Well, I know, like I did that in one of my tanks that had baby plecos and other fish. And it was funny because once the pleco latched on, they had to go around the pleco like they're doing now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's shrimp in here too, but the shrimp get bullied around pretty bad by the guppies. If I pull out a little bit, look how many are in here.
Wow.
They're beautiful guppies.
Thank you.
And they eat the flake food that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feed that to. There's a shrimp right there.
It is a great price, Jeff. It's awesome.
Holy cow, it's $8.50 already.
Well, this is a 75-gallon tank, so if you pull out,
Oh my gosh.
they're everywhere.
Oh, that's
It's like,
a 75-gallon.
and those are crips.
That's definitely a crap ton of guppies, and I love those crips.
Look at those crips, right? Is that what you're talking about, Pam? Like that?
Yep.
Oh, I'd cry. I'd be crying if they all melted.
Florida sunset, green, and
Is that a Wendetti?
yeah, they're all Wendetti, but they're all just variant. There's a bronze, and this
Okay.
one's bronze. Bronze, green, and red, which is Florida sunset.
I had
Look
some
at 'em.
bronze. I killed them. I like the blue on them. That's really nice
There's
color.
a bigger pleco coming in.
Uh-oh. About to get real in there now. About to get real.
Look at how many guppies. It's so funny.
There was way more in here because these all come from my pond outside. So I'd been working on these group making my line for the last like 2 years or so. And then this spring, I decided to get my old goldfish pond going again. And I just put guppies out there, my best group. And then they all bred out. And then I just pulled up. I caught all the ones I could and brought them in. I mean, there's still probably a couple dozen out there I couldn't catch because there's rocks and plants, and they get up under the waterfall rocks and you can't get them. But I pulled out probably 1,000 because this was when I pulled these out in the fall. It was just guppy soup with babies.
Wow.
Trash cat, I was going to, but Skipper wouldn't let me.
No, I told him he had to keep his mouth shut tonight.
No, I got distracted by the baby plecos. What happened? So. Well, we got 5 minutes, we're being told, so we shall start wrapping it up, I guess. Daniken comes on next, and there's a link in there.
See if I can get this figured out again.
I don't have a ring light. I guess it shows too, huh?
Yeah, if I don't have that, it's way dark in here. So
I got a ring light called a fish rack in front of me.
see if
That's
I turn
what-
this. Let's see if I turn the ring light off. Let's see what I look like. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not
But
too bad. You got
it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Trash cat says work is weird tonight. Dog humping the pillow. Cats falling off tables. And that's where you work?
So, I guess, is that G rated?
It is. Humping's permissible. I mean, saying it.
what kind of algae wafer was that you gave the guppies?
Yeah.
Just Hakari.
Okay.
Kari makes the best algae wafers, but
Yeah.
stores don't sell them here. They sell Tetra or the others, and there's not the algae's like the 10th or 15th ingredient in them. They're not algae.
Have you ever tried the extreme bottom scratchers?
No.
I haven't.
Extreme what?
Bottom scratchers.
Oh, I have not.
I love them.
What is it?
It's I'll grab the thing real quick.
If anybody else has any questions or comments, get them in the chat.
So, when you put your Skittles together, how come they don't all turn brown? Somebody told me if I mix them in a tank, they're all going to start being brown.
Well, with any shrimp, you still have to take out the ones you don't like. You still, if you just let them be, they all will eventually.
Oh, I like them all.
Yeah. And then eventually, you will regress back to lesser and lesser ones unless you take out the ones. Now there's another guy I know. He bought a Skittles pack off me like a year or two ago, and he just pulls out the wild types. He keeps, if they have good color, he keeps them, and he has lots and lots of really good shrimp still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like the wild type, but I like to get them out so they're not diluting the genes of the the good ones.
Because what my Skittles tank is, it's just everything from all the tanks that they get pulled for whatever reason. Sometimes they're bad shrimp. Sometimes they're just not perfect shrimp. you know.
So do you know how if a guppy mated a year ago, they could still carry that with them? Are shrimp the same way?
No, I don't think no. No,
Okay.
you gotta have a boy and a girl shrimp.
Okay.
Dusty's saying he loved the stream. Awesome seeing all
It
those
was great stream.
awesome tanks. See that? And Jeff Pelham said, fantastic stream, everyone. So nice. Yeah, Mark's awesome, and he's got awesome stuff. So don't forget to go check out his stuff just to look at it, because we didn't see nearly everything. We saw a lot, but not everything.
Yeah,
His last video shows more than I think we saw tonight, so that got me hooked in there.
Well, stay
Yeah.
tuned for an orange shrimp unboxing. As soon as I get mine, man.
You also did a fish room tour on your channel, what, about a week ago?
Yes,
that was when I was doing water changes. Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
it's not a real good tour. You have to. I need to do a good tour video. That's the focus is the tour. But right now I have algae problems and cloudy tanks. You know, because I'm not doing show tanks. I'm making more shrimp tanks.
Right.
Merry Christmas,
So-
Miss Monica. How
Those
long
ain't
is the
always-
sale going on?
It just depends. As long as supplies last. If an item's on sale, it's because I have lots and lots and lots of it.
Okay. All right.
Yep, I just subscribed to you and did all the notifications.
Awesome.
Thanks, Whip. Yeah, he's got it. Go back and watch the first part. You'll enjoy it. All right, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of here, so I don't like to go over anybody. And Danikin's just starting, or did just start. So,
In
All right.
about 2
Thank
minutes.
you.
all right. Thank you. And thanks, everybody in the chat. Thanks for participating. Thank you, mods. And thank you, panel. See y'all.
See you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
You'll see me on your site